Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me today to hear about ASICS and how we're trying to challenge the category conventions in the sports industry. And there are a lot of conventions in the sport industry. In fact, it's a bit of a challenge for all sports brands, because most brands look and feel and sound and say the same thing. And that's because we see two dominant brand archetypes in the sports industry. The first is the ruler brand, who talks about winning and victory at all costs. It's the only thing that matters. And the second are the hero brands that say you too could one day be a winner if you put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and you work hard enough to transform your body. Now, I've never had the pleasure of working with BBH directly, but I've always been inspired by their philosophy and this iconic ad from Levi's where they said, when everyone else zigs, you need to zag. That's easier said than done, because category conventions exist for a reason. So what we've done at ASICS is we've gone back to our heritage and to our history to try to identify how we can stand out and be different from all of our competitors. But the first thing to know is that unlike the aggressive American brands, as an American I can say that, we're a Japanese brand, and that in itself makes us very different. We are a caring brand, and we call ourselves a caregiver brand from Japan. And we were founded with a purpose. This is Onitsuka-san, and he started our company in 1949. It was right after the Second World War. And what he discovered was a society in despair. People, and especially young people, had lost hope. And yet he recognized that the power of sport went beyond benefiting the body. It was an opportunity to uplift the mind. And so he started our company not to sell shoes or apparel, but to actually help people achieve a sound mind and a sound body. It's why he called our company ASICS. ASICS is an acronym from the Latin phrase anima sana in corpore sano, or a sound mind and a sound body. And for almost 75 years, we've been on a mission to help uplift people's minds. But as you may have seen from the photos at the beginning, we also, over time, have fallen into the trap of these category conventions that focus on winning or focus on effort. And so just a few years ago, we reaffirmed our brand positioning as being the sport brand that would champion the benefits of sport and exercise on the mind. Now, they say a strong brand positioning is relevant, credible, and differentiating. And perhaps it's unfortunate, but this positioning of ours is incredibly relevant because we see that levels of stress and anxiety are at the highest levels than they've ever been. In fact, the World Health Organization was talking about a global pandemic back in 2019 before COVID. And once the coronavirus came in 2020, things have gotten even worse. It's incredibly credible because it's why our company was founded. It's even in our DNA. And as I'm about to show you, we believe it's incredibly differentiating because all other sports brands tend to focus on winning or effort as opposed to the benefit on the mind. So let's take a look at the sports industry, and let me give you some recent examples of how we've tried to bring this positioning and this point of differentiation to life in our communications. So the first thing is many sports brands talk about the fact, or at least they talk about winning as if it's the only thing that matters. And that's why they invest so much money in sports marketing and do advertising that looks like this, because it's all about winning. Now, we are a sports brand as well. So of course we like to win, but we don't want to win at all costs. So last year, we added an addendum to all of our existing sports marketing contracts, and we made it a mandatory clause of all sports marketing contracts going forward that we would offer psychological services and help to all of our professional athletes. Because while we think that podium positions and medals are nice, the well-being of our athletes is even more important. And for us, this is a huge differentiator. The second thing about winning is that sports brands would lead you to believe that your best is always defined by a number. You have to go faster, you have to go longer, you have to be stronger, you have to go higher, you have to hit a certain weight. And we believe that actually a best is not defined by a number, it's defined by a feeling. So let's take a look.
You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? If somebody works for 2 hours, you work for 4 hours. Put in the damn work.
We've been told that a personal best is all about how far, how fast, and actually we want to celebrate movement for how it makes us feel.
He's being used in a campaign to encourage all of us to exercise.
I had to get to that finish line. I started it, I wanted to finish it. Local people can relate to it, you know, because it is a local person.
This is all about getting rid of this idea that you need to be a certain level before you can get out and exercise.
And there will be people listening to this now who are massively affected by what you're talking about.
We're encouraging everyone to share their new personal best and start a new conversation about what exercise is really all about.
With all the stress and anxiety in the world, sports brands are actually adding to the pressure by telling people that they need to achieve more all the time, when we as a brand want everybody to participate, because even walking around the block for somebody is a personal best and an achievement. And the sports brands do this in other ways as well, because they talk about the fact that the purpose of exercise is actually to transform your body. Again, if you work hard enough, you too might achieve that look, and you too might have the chance of winning. And this time, instead of showing you a collage of ads, I'm going to actually show you how AI tells us that a woman exercising, we look for a woman who has been exercising. And this is the image that AI generated. And this comes from all of the sports industry focusing so much on how people should look as a result of exercise. But we wanted to see if we could train AI. So as a brand that is very, very different, we actually uploaded all of the images of the people that appear in our campaigns, and this is what AI generated as a woman who's been exercising. So we were able to actually change the way that AI sees exercise and try to encourage more people and more brands to post their images of people exercising so that people could see that the true benefit of exercise is not on the body, but on the mind. Another disturbing trend that we see is actually something that you probably all recognize from your own social media feeds. Everybody's aware of exercise transformations, before and after photos, that again focus exclusively on the benefit that exercise brings to the body. But remember, as a brand, we want to champion the benefit that it brings to the mind. So what we did was we worked with influencers, brought them into a studio, and took their before picture. And then we asked them to exercise for 15 minutes and 9 seconds, which our research has revealed is all it takes for somebody to be able to achieve a mental uplift. And then we photograph them again after that 15 minutes and 9 seconds of exercise. Now obviously there's no body transformation, but if you look carefully, you will see the small differences in how somebody feels. And so what we tried to communicate to the world was that not all exercise transformations are visible, and yet all exercise transformations are critically important. Let's take a look.
Eat better, eat cleaner, and hit the gym harder.
7 in 10 of us believe that society's obsession with the perfect body is damaging our mental health.
This is really what creates a sense of feeling of lack, of not feeling good about yourself, of feelings of depression.
I've been doing this campaign with ASICS, and I'm really proud to actually think it's the best campaign I've ever really worked on, and I'm proud to see a company taking ownership of this.
Some of the times I've felt at my lowest were when my body was the most aesthetically the way that people expect.
I just think it's brilliant when such a huge brand wants to shed light on something that hasn't been done.
The fact that it's so fearless and doing something so different, it's a campaign that speaks to everyone.
People looking think, where's the transformation? But it's about what happens in your mind. It's not about the body.
These before and after transformations are intended to actually inspire people to go out and to move more, but our research shows that it's actually the opposite. That when people see perfect bodies and they see dramatic physical transformation, it actually creates more of a barrier, prevents more people from exercising. So again, we're trying to make exercise accessible to all people and really demonstrate the uplifting power of exercise on the mind. And then just a few weeks ago, we launched another campaign that was focused on weight loss, because as much as we talk about body positivity, what we actually have seen is that searches for weight loss, exercise weight loss, and quick weight losses have skyrocketed over the last year. So we've introduced a new way of looking at weight loss. We also wanted to say 15 minutes, 9 seconds is all it takes. So we worked together with a number of UK influencers to develop their own 15-minute weight loss programs, but with a twist. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Em. I'm Sean.
Hey, I'm Bella.
I'm Scotty and welcome to my 15-minute weight loss.
To lose weight, I jog.
I just love dancing. Wherever I am, whoever I'm with.
I like to hit something as hard as I can.
Just do a couple reps.
The weight just disappears.
I feel lighter already.
And then finally, when we talk about effort, and you've seen some of these images before, but I'll just put them up again, the world of sports talks about the fact that you need to put in physical effort, blood, sweat, tears. We've all heard the expression, no pain, no gain. And that again ends up turning people off from exercising, because exercise has somehow become something that you have to do because you want to drop a dress size, you want to look good for an event, because you want to gain muscles, as opposed to something that you want to do. And so we actually recruited the world's youngest group of sports marketing ambassadors. They're a group of 7 and 8-year-olds. We call them the ASICS Little Reminders, because we wanted them to remind adults that actually they should be exercising not just for physical benefits, but especially because of how it makes them feel. And this is what that campaign looked like.
Why do I exercise?
That's a very, very good question. Everything is essentially about how much can you push your body, how much can you take it to the next level.
I'd be lying if I said I just wanted to feel good on my wedding day, but I do really want to look good as well.
In order for me to sustain this weight that I've lost, I have to exercise a huge amount.
When I look on social media, I see a lot of people and I'm like, why can't I look like that?
Because I don't truly believe anyone gets up, goes to the gym, trains because they really enjoy training.
I feel like I have to, and I should do, rather than want to.
Gives me energy and then it just powers me up. The best thing about it feels like my brain is like just blank. It feels good and you feel really energetic. Adults take it too seriously. They just do, 1, 2, 3. Kids like to get a bit more silly with it. when we're having fun, you may not think it's exercise, but it actually is, and that's what I really love. It makes me feel really happy, and that's what I really love.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't actually expecting to feel like that. Yeah, you forget actually about how much you used to move just for fun. And they're not thinking about everybody else, they're just thinking about what game they're playing.
It's not about how they look, it's not about any of those things.
So has it made a difference? I mean, again, we wanted to zag, and we wanted to break category conventions, and we wanted to do it in a way that was authentic and credible. I'm not able to share specific numbers with you today, but I am going to tell you that our brand metrics, if you look at anything from brand preference, association with sound mind, sound body, being seen as a caring brand, being seen as a brand that supports mental well-being, are through the roof. Our business metrics, we have gained market share in every one of our categories from doing this brand-related advertising and shifting more to brand-related advertising than just focusing on product communications. We had record sales last year and are projected to break that record this year again. So from a business perspective, it is delivering results. And perhaps most importantly of all, we measure our employee engagement, and our employee engagement has more than doubled in the 4 years that we've started to anchor on this brand positioning, because it's a positioning with purpose, it's a positioning that resonates with people and allows everybody to really say that unlike everybody else in the category, we are really helping society instead of preventing people and adding additional barriers. So thank you for listening to the story, and I'd encourage all of you to think about your own brands and how you can break category conventions, build your brand, build your business, and make your colleagues and your teams feel better than they've ever felt before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. That was really, really powerful, especially that last film. As a father of 4 young boys who talk a lot about six-packs, I think it's a really important message for people that age to really understand that it's not about the physical fitness and the way you look, it's about that mental thing as well, and just enjoying it. So thank you, it's really great. I've got some questions. Anonymous, here we go. You have the potential to tell great stories in long-form content. How much have you switched to longer form as you've shifted away from product?
Well, I mean, I think it's always a combination. When we develop our media plans, we think that long form is important for storytelling, but of course we always have to find ways to do it in short form as well. But what we have seen from all of our brand uplift studies are that long form places like YouTube tend to work better for us than social places like Meta, for example. So it has been part of our shift. But I think that, you know, obviously there's a constant battle for attention, but if you have a compelling story to tell, if you can really tap into a cultural insight, then people are willing to invest time to hear the story.
Great, thank you. And one other here from Grace. I'm not sure if I'll be reading people's names out, but I'm going to go for it. As a brand with such a clear vision for both message and creativity, what are the attributes you look for in an agency partner? She's on a sales vibe here. This isn't for pitching.
Well, I mean, I think that you know, we believe in strong partnership. We're looking for people that really understand the brand, but I think the theme of this year's entire event is about being bold, about being brave. And I have to say that it's much easier to just follow the category convention than to do what everybody else in the category is doing. Because as I said earlier, the category conventions exist for a reason. They've been very successful for a lot of big brands. And I think that we are looking for people that can consistently tell the same story but in new and interesting ways. And I think that one of the next presenters, even on this stage, is from Dove, and Dove is a brand that we talk about a lot inside of ASICS because we talk about the fact that for 20 years, they've been telling the same story again and again, but in new and creative ways. And that's what we're trying to do in ASICS. We have one brief, and the brief remains the same year after year after year, but we're looking for new and interesting ways to tell the same story.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
You can go.
Okay. Thank you.
Round of applause for Gary.
Thank you.
And ASICS.
Enjoy.